Yo, and welcome to another podcast with myself and Ricky from Black White Soul.
Hello!
Sitting here with his glorious beard.
The people are well, actually, okay, they can see it because there should be a picture right there.
Yeah, it should be.
Of me
Should be
suited
fairly
up
recent.
because
Yeah.
that's how I'm always dressed.
Yeah, we're both wearing suits right now.
We're in big, high production studio with our suits on.
Looking over London.
Yeah, looking over London from our flying sky fortress.
Yeah,
Because that's where all this money,
all the money.
those 80 views, yeah!
Yeah! My 177 subscribers. Ooh.
I know, I hate you. I'm only on like 20. And you only do... Well, okay, I haven't done a video for a while. I was consistent. And you pop out a video every now and then and get this over 100.
Don't want to brag and all, but you know, it's the quality, really.
But speaking of videos, I will actually be getting back into my video making this week.
Good.
Because I will be releasing my first episode of Raw vs. Raw, which will be comparing this week's Raw versus 1998 March the 9th Raw.
Right. What happened on that one?
In that one, we are looking at, we've got the Mike Tyson has just joined D-Generation X, so this is the fallout of that. We've got Stone Cold's reaction to that. We've got Owen Hart and Triple H, little feud going on. The ridiculous team that I forgot about of Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack. Yeah,
Nice.
it was just a very weird retro. And the weirdest thing is seeing Goldust back then. Like, it's the wrong way around. He's the Benjamin Button of the wrestling industry. Because he is in so much better shape,
Now.
and his ring work is so better now than it was
What, nearly
18 years ago.
That's crazy, isn't it? He's doing something right.
He is.
I know he's doing DDP.
I was going to
yoga,
say it's probably
so
DDP yoga.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to look to get into that one.
Oh, really?
Because he's got an app. I don't know if it's available over here yet. Because at one point I was going to get like the program sent over, but that's like shipping is ridiculous, and he didn't have a UK
Oh, that's a shame.
seller.
Hopefully we get that at some point.
Yeah, you wanna.
At home exercising. No need to go to the gym.
Even though I've got this 8-pack already while we're sitting here in our Sky Fortress.
Wearing our suits. I can
yeah.
see Ricky's 8-pack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I'm wearing a see-through suit, apparently.
Just
or
bulging through.
am I just wearing, like, the suit jacket? Just no shirt, just the suit jacket.
He's doing the Jericho. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I probably am doing the Jericho.
My 6-pack's in the fridge.
Ah.
Oh, so your videos are going to be like, what, a few minutes long, just running down highlights of Raw?
We will find out. I'm currently editing and trying to, like, tweak the format, so they'll probably evolve over the next few months. It might end up being a long one first, just as I'm trying to get everything in, but I will try and streamline in future episodes, which would be helpful with some feedback from our loyal fan base.
Definitely.
That's you guys hearing this now.
Yeah. You guys, as always, leave the comments in the section below. Tweet us. I'm going to do the annotations in this one as well.
Woohoo!
Links and everything. So feel free to get in contact. It'd be great to hear from you guys.
Oh, proud of you, getting your
I
YouTube
know.
technology going.
Trying to get it going, you know. Got to try harder. But we were just talking about how long we've got left until Mania. We've got 3 Raws left. Obviously, one of them's Go Home. So we haven't got long.
Is that another name for a pay-per-view? We've got Roadblock, we've got Go Home.
Go Home. You're like Fast Lane, Roadblock, just go home. This isn't going to go well.
I think that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people will be saying to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, where is he gone?
Yeah, this is... Well, let's get into it then. Let's start the road that has got us to here. Because literally the last time we talked was Roman Reigns got beat down in a bloody mess.
Yep.
And since then, Roman Reigns, we've seen a picture of him with good fake makeup on.
Yep. But not a promo in sight, not an interview, nothing on the WWE website. What is your opinion on what they're trying to accomplish with not having him on TV or around?
Part of me thinks they're trying to get like a surprise pop.
Right.
It can be done in a short time, but this is a very short time. So I believe that's why they've used Dean Ambrose, because Dean Ambrose, of course, is going to be heading for the title match at Roadblock against Triple H. Because the last time we saw Triple H and Roman Reigns, Triple H was getting cheered. But if you look at the last 2 weeks, Triple H is definitely getting booed.
Yeah.
Even though they're like, okay, let's just do the exact same thing. Triple H is going to beat up Dean Ambrose on the announce table. Let's see the reaction. And it was what they want with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So
agree.
I believe the main thing is trying to get Dean to turn Triple H more heel.
Yep.
And then they're probably going to do some sort of Triple H is about to kill Dean Ambrose. Reigns comes out for the save, and they're really hoping to transfer these cheers over, which I think is going to fail.
Yeah, that's just going to fail. I also think they're trying to make us miss Reigns. I don't miss Reigns.
Yep. Well, it is. As soon as anyone's away, like even if Randy Orton turned up, it would be like, hey!
Bye.
Yeah. I remember why I wasn't cheering this guy. But you always get the,
Yeah. I kind of also think maybe they're reevaluating what their main event's going to be at Mania. I don't know. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I wouldn't mind seeing Reigns versus Ambrose instead of Reigns versus Triple H. I can't see Ambrose winning that title at Roadblock, but who knows what will happen.
I know. There's always a chance something can happen.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever set in stone, and you can always call it audible, where you switch on the fly. And it is like, for me, looking at it, the best case scenario would be Dean Ambrose beats Triple H, Roman Reigns turns heel, and then we've got a completely hot babyface versus a completely hot heel. Because the crowd want to boo him, so let them boo him.
Yeah.
And this will get him over. And then, in a couple of years, when he does the face turn, it would be more natural, and the crowd will give a damn.
Definitely.
Name a single babyface that has got over without being heel first.
Well, I can't think of any. I mean, Daniel Bryan was heel, done a really good job at it, and so good a job, he turned face.
Yep.
Yeah. Austin as well. He did wrestle it. Heel was the ringmaster, I believe.
Yeah, he was... He was heel as Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it was just that change in attitude, literally, that sort of sparks the whole...
Yeah, he's right. I don't think anyone comes in as a heel and gets successfully over.
Like, come on, why don't we look at the person that's related to him? Rocky Maivia, which, again, on my Raw vs. Raw video, I'll be talking about Rocky Maivia as he's literally transforming into The Rock.
Jesus.
And it is weird having him getting completely booed. Die, Rocky, die chants.
Really?
All this stuff. This is at his point where he's about to break away from the Nation.
Nation domination.
And he's in a match with Ken Shamrock. And Shamrock is the guy getting the huge pop.
Ken Shamrock. Well, that's a name I've heard for a while.
And then it's made even more ridiculous by the fact that Ken Shamrock was almost about to fight this year in an MMA match.
Oh, because he did used to be in UFC. Yeah.
Yep. And 18 years later, he was about to be in a match against, actually, Dan the B7. Severin. Basically an old school wrestler, but was actually a shoot guy as well.
Right.
So basically, there's this really weird, I really wish I could remember the promotion. It's a really weird thing they're doing where they've got an MMA match, a wrestling match between Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio, and then like a boxing match, and like just random different sports all put into one
event.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was going to be Ken Shamrock versus Dan the Beast, but Ken Shamrock, I believe, was either came to his senses because he is too old and too frail to be fighting.
Yeah.
But then was actually replaced by Tank Abbott.
God, these are names I do not know.
Who is an MMA person that came over to WCW and had quite a... The only thing I know of him, he had this really legendary pigskin on a pole match, which of course is like a biker jacket.
Biker jacket, yeah.
And he was just awful, and he straight out pulled a knife on the guy he was fighting. Because the creative team told him, you've got to get a gimmick. So his bright idea for a gimmick was to bring a knife to the show and just pulled it out and was like, I'm going to cut your throat! And the commentators have to go, oh, I think he's got a salad tongue. Let's cut away from that.
What kind of scene are you going to make? A violent one?
We don't need to talk about your love life here.
Inside joke. Yeah.
But yeah, there's some the realms of my MMA knowledge / wrestling. Oh,
wow. God, that's old school.
that was. But
Bit
that's the
beyond me.
point. The point I was actually making of Rocky Maivia got completely trashed as a babyface, turned heel, and I believe everyone listening to this will probably know who The Rock is.
Yeah, I think they might know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what we don't know is what the hell The Rock's going to be doing at WrestleMania.
No.
It's going to be there.
He's going to be doing something. Apparently, it's something that we've never ever seen before. So, I mean, that could mean anything in the world of WWE because we've seen a lot.
Well, yeah. So that rules out gay marriage,
Sex in the ring.
yeah. Like face-off, killing your family, setting people on fire, throwing people through barbershop windows.
Him and Brock are just going to make out.
Yeah. Would that be this the first time there'd be a man-on-man makeout? I don't know. Goldust's probably actually kissed someone.
Yeah, I know Brock kissed Angle once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's probably why Brock popped into my head. Okay, so it has been done.
Oh.
We can contemplate all night of what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
But we're getting little teasers from Rock's Instagram of what it, the build up and what it might be. But your guess is as good as mine.
Let's try and get back on track of the facts that. Oh dear, that's a nice probably 10-minute segue there.
Yeah.
That's not even a segue. That's not how you do a that's not a segue. Basically, what they're doing with Reigns at the moment isn't working, so I'm hoping this will make them reevaluate. With either they'll do it before Mania, or this will be their okay, we're just going with Reigns, this is the plan.
Yeah.
And then we'll deal with it afterwards just to see what we can do.
Yeah. But he's not around, and I don't mind.
No.
It's the first. Okay, so we had the Shane O'Mac Raw. It was obviously really, really good when he returned. So we get to the Raw after that, and obviously I expected a lot going into it, and come out of it kind of feeling a bit dissatisfied again, to say the least. We got the Undertaker thing with Vince, which was just a bit weird.
So, oh my God, Vince is gonna show his diabolical plan to get the Undertaker on his side.
Yeah. And literally, his entrance was longer than his promo, and he said 10 words. So I don't really know what they wanted to accomplish there, or whether they're just avoiding writing a decent story.
I believe that's part of their initiative. It's like, whoa, you guys, let's avoid writing a decent story.
It's a lot of effort.
Then when we do an okay Raw, people are excited about it.
Oh, yeah. We had a really good one last week, so let's wind it down a bit. But I was really hoping that he would perhaps sort of say to Vince, why on earth do you think I would do this and nobody tells me what to do? And I was hoping Vince would kind of come up with if you don't do this, you're fired or something like that. Just something there. Some real background as to why Undertaker would do this, but absolutely nothing. He's just agreed to do it. Ugh, yeah.
To me, it really looks like Vince really wanted to have a match with Shane and have stakes to it. But, pretty much probably everybody in the WWE company was like, no, Vince, you'll die. You last time Brock Lesnar hit you with an F5, he, broke your legs.
Broke a hip, yep.
And, you can't do a match anymore.
No.
A little spot here and there, just fall on the apron after a Roman Reigns Superman punch, fine. But have a full-on crazy WrestleMania match? No. And then they're like, well, The Undertaker's lost his opponent and Braun Strowman is shit. So let's use that.
You just don't know whether you're meant to see Undertaker as a heel now and boo him, or... Because, to be honest, we're not going to boo Taker, but I just want to know where he stands and where we stand with him.
That's the awkward thing about this. Is if it was anyone else, even though it would be disappointing, if they had Sheamus versus Shane, it would just make more sense. You've just got that slight uneasiness of I don't want to see Undertaker lose at WrestleMania, but I want Shane to bring about this change.
Well, apparently this change is coming, and over the last 6 months, even superstars have said themselves, just wait until after Mania. Whether they've known for a long time that change is coming, whether it had anything to do with Shane, we're not going to know that. But I've heard things on the grapevine that maybe the next Raw after a couple of Raws after Mania is going to be called WWE versus Monday Night Raw.
Oh yeah, there was that leaked thing, and
This
then got quickly changed.
Yeah, but I just don't know. What I would like to see, if it does happen, is some sort of giant big stare down happen at the end of the match at Hell in a Cell, where you've got people coming to Taker's aid and people coming to Shane's aid, and you've got like Vince's side, Authority side, and then Shane's side. And if that's the way the brand split happens, what better way to do it?
What do you think of them redoing the brand split?
Well, to be honest, their roster isn't exactly thick at the minute, and you're kind of spreading not many wrestlers over 2 shows, so I don't really know. I didn't really enjoy the brand split before.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't. I liked seeing the mix of everyone there.
What did you not like? It was just the fact that you didn't have everyone mixed up.
I just didn't have everyone I liked on, say, Raw or SmackDown, for example, and some of the superstars that I'd like to have seen wrestle were on separate shows. That was just it for me. I don't want to see, like, Owens end up on SmackDown and hardly see him on Raw.
Yeah.
That'd be worst case for me. But as I say, they haven't really exactly got many wrestlers at the minute. Most of them are injured. I guess when they get more wrestlers back, it might work a bit better, but it depends how they play the story out.
Part of me would like it, just because it would force them to use Kevin Owens and Adrian Neville. Like, those people that are just shut down on that bottom tier. If you're splitting this roster in half, they're going to be forced up into like those higher positions.
That's true.
Because look what it did for Edge, the brand split.
Yeah.
Edge it basically made his career was being the SmackDown guy, the guy that ran SmackDown and was your main heel you would go to. Even if he lost the title, he would probably get it back again.
Yeah. One thing I'm fearful of if they do this brand split again is obviously you've got the world title, the WWE Championship. Will there be another World Heavyweight Championship again?
Yeah, we've only just unified it. Let's split it up again. Basically, the exact same thing that happened. Jericho got it, Triple H won it, and then it went through a few people, and then the brand split, and then they split the titles again.
Yeah. Are we going to see that again too soon? I don't want to. I don't want to. Unless they use, say, SmackDown to elevate the Intercontinental. That could be another thing they do.
But I have to admit, I really did like the lottery they did every year, where they would mix some guys up. And then also it did make it really special, like when you had Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels, whose feud was built up over months, where they would have those few conjoined pay-per-views where they would actually meet, and you'd get these little teases. And the really sad one that never happened, because you kept getting Christian and John Cena, they kept bumping heads for almost a year, but then because Christian was super over, and Cena, this was the start of the booze, they were like, oh, we're going to keep you away from him, because you're not doing a good enough job of heel. Kurt Angle, you failed us. You did a bad job of being a heel.
Yeah.
Apparently that's like what Triple H said to Kurt Angle. And then I think John Cena went to fight Triple H at that WrestleMania, which was a chorus of boos to John Cena and yays to Triple H. So I was like, oh no, that's not my fault.
God. That was during my break from WWE. Missed out on that.
No, let's say that. Because you must have pretty much stopped at the brand split.
Yeah, it was the brand split. I watched that for a bit, didn't enjoy it, and I just kind of... to be honest, I started working Saturdays, so that was one of the big reasons, and I used to get SmackDown and the Raw review and stuff like that on Sky 1 back then. So I just didn't get to watch that anymore. So it just kind of... It wasn't really a choice, it was just something that just kind of happened, and then fast forward nearly 8 years later. Yeah. Cena was all of a sudden, because I saw Cena's debut, and all of a sudden Cena come back and he's like the
ruthless aggression.
Yeah, so it's crazy. But one thing I did like about that Raw with Taker's short promo is Stephanie's promo.
Yep.
My God, I moan about Stephanie a lot because we see her a lot and she can be really irritating, but there was just something about that promo.
Oh yeah, it was really sort of heartfelt.
It felt real.
Which made it a bit confusing why Stephanie wasn't really that involved on this Raw.
No.
Like, she had a brief backstage thing with Vince saying, what if? But that was it. Because that seems like that should be, like, it should be Stephanie and Vince teaming up against Shane. But then we just get that underlining problem, which is impossible to say without sounding sexist, of Stephanie's a woman, and you can't do anything to her.
No, you know, we get pissed off at her and we want to see her get beat up. I'm not saying by a guy, but you know, it's quite satisfying to see Brie Bella kick her in. But when you've got her taking the mick out of wrestlers and guys on the roster,
Just emasculating.
you want to see them go bam.
One of the worst ones was when they were doing the contract signing for the Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
When she was just in the ring with the contracts and was just there and was just like, don't you turn me like that. It's like you had no reason to be there.
No.
And then you talk at these guys and then they just can't do anything to you.
Yeah.
Imagine if they didn't have Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania when The Rock got in the ring and Stephanie slapped him. There'd actually be nothing he could do. The Rock would just seem pathetic because he just, well, I'm gonna leave you two alone because I can't actually do anything to you.
Beat up your husband instead.
Yeah, if your husband hides behind you, I'm pretty much stuck.
Yeah. That's like that with that Ronda Rousey thing and Triple H. It was just, that kind of made it look like some sort of match was going to happen there.
Well, they wanted it.
But
they just couldn't get it cleared.
Yeah. But I've been so good to have seen Ronda Rousey. At least give her a couple of punches.
Though, in fairness, would it be bad for Ronda Rousey to take a break from MMA to do this kind of thing and give herself a proper refresh?
Well,
now she's lost that real
yeah
match against Holly Holmes.
It was like Taker losing the streak in the world of UFC. You know.
Not quite.
I know, but as a comparison of, I know, because I'm a fan of UFC and it got a big reaction.
But it did, that's just because...
And it destroyed her.
Pretty much unlike any other MMA guy, she's the one that broke into mainstream. It's like the way that if you talk about wrestling, people are like, oh, The Rock. If you talked about UFC, people oh, Ronda Rousey, just because she was the name that...
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, other than that...
So I watch far too much
How I Met Your Mother. That was a genuine one. I did not mean to do that. That was an okay-ish Raw. Wasn't as good as the week before. This week, however, was a bit better. We had Shane come back, and him and his dad done a fantastic promo.
The stamping on the photo, even though you can't really do much by stamping on paper, but the visual was good with the broken glass.
Yeah, it was good. And I kind of think Vince is going to get involved in that match. He might not get that physical.
Oh, he must. He'll probably come out with a truck again and open it up and put the league in there. Probably, I don't know, for old time's sake, probably come out with Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe. Just get them to sort of stand around.
That would be amazing.
And then the Mean Street Posse can come out to back up Shane.
Yep. Oh, Mean Street Posse and Shane.
Oh, it's always the worst when you do a random rumble in those old games and it's like, oh, I'm Joey Abs. Who the hell wants to be Pete Gas?
Oh, God, no one. But, yeah, much better this week. Dean Ambrose, I'm just thrilled that he's really getting into this whole main event scene. He's obviously facing Lesnar at Mania, and that feud's been put on hold while Reigns is away, and we've got...
And Lesnar's away, because he just does.
Lesnar's away, so we've got this Triple H and Ambrose thing going on, I guess, just for this weekend for Roadblock, which came out of nowhere.
Yep.
And we were discussing this the other night, because it literally did come out of nowhere. I saw it as a thumbnail on YouTube and didn't think it was real. I thought it was a joke. Because of Fastlane.
Because this week's Raw was the first time they actually mentioned it on WWETV. I'd heard it a bit more because it was also said on NXT later that week, last week, sorry. But this week's Raw was the first time it was even mentioned. So something leads me to believe that they sort of just suddenly changed their mind and decided let's just tie this into a big thing.
Yeah.
And or maybe part of it was just we've got this reaction with Reigns. Let's give them sort of a palate fresher. By putting someone else going for this title.
But this is definitely raising Ambrose's stock. So going into Mania. And while we're on him, can you see him going over on Lesnar?
If this works out, this match really heats up, you get good crowd reaction, I could see it, because I don't think a loss is really going to hurt Lesnar that much.
No.
And it all depends, like, how you do the loss as well.
Mm.
There's ways around it. It's a big brawl, so you could get some sort of win by, like, I don't know, he, like, drives an ambulance over him or something.
Well, yeah. It's a street fight, no holds barred.
Yeah.
Is it a false count anywhere?
I don't know. I think it's Street Fight, so I think it might be
Street fight.
weapons, but I don't know. They sort of change on the fly to what works with their scenario.
Well, I can't see him ending Lesnar with dirty deeds, so you're probably right
Yeah.
with the fact they're going to do some sort of big spot. But if Ambrose wins that night, that's huge for him.
Exactly. It really elevates Ambrose, and as I say, I don't think it hurts Lesnar.
No, it doesn't hurt Lesnar. He ended the streak, so there's no hurting him.
And he's just Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like, it's just whatever match he's going to be in. Like, I think no matter how many times if he was beaten, like, I think there's always this air of legitimacy and terrifyingness with
He's
Lesnar.
terrifying. He's the love child of a white rhino and the concept of punching. So it's
And he's like
man.
the only person in the world that doesn't know that wrestling isn't wrestling.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a work. It's like,
what? Jesus.
oh,
Sorry for any earphone listeners.
Lesnar has the worst voice for a big tough man.
Oh, but yeah, I'm definitely up for this feud. I'm looking forward to that match. And the Divas as well. They're definitely got a triple threat now. That's all been confirmed for WrestleMania.
Yeah, we got a really sort of bad double pin.
Yeah, that was awful. I'd rather forget about that.
I was disappointed in Sasha Banks for that.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to what we wanted, which is this triple threat.
Yeah. I was thinking about it at work today, who I think will go over, but I think it's Sasha Banks.
Think about the girls at work, were you?
I was thinking about the girls at work. When it's 10 o'clock in the morning, I've got 7 hours left. Let's think about Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Well, I think they can do it either two ways. Is either I think Sasha wins and we then rename the title, the women's title.
Yes.
Or I think Charlotte could actually retain and just get a decent run, because I still think there's legs in it. I really want them to redo the match they did on NXT. The Natalya versus Charlotte with Brett and Flair, because that just had such good chemistry, Natty and Charlotte, and just those two being involved just really sort of helped raise its stock.
If Charlotte was to retain at Mania, I would want this to happen. Bayley heartbreakingly loses her belt at the next NXT takeover.
I believe, which is the weekend or the Friday, I think, before WrestleMania, around about there.
Wouldn't you just love to see her come out and debut on Raw?
The next
challenge
night.
Charlotte. Whether it's for a match that night or the next pay-per-view, but I'd love to see her debut on Raw the following night and have her win the new Women's Championship. Because I want it to be named the Women's Championship.
I think that would be a huge pop. But part of me just thinks at the moment that the NXT division sort of still needs her as their leader. And I would like them to have, because we've only just got Sasha Banks broken away from the others. And I think just having a focus on just these three for a while, let's actually get some character out of them, get to know them a bit more, and then sort of say, when we get to sort of SummerSlam, Survivor Series, then we'd sort of bring in another person. I think you've got enough legs with these three competitors to let's just reset the division as a proper high class. And then you've got people that are talented to bring it. Paige is on the roster.
I know.
She's the person that started women's wrestling being exciting.
She did.
And then unfortunately got brought up to the main roster.
Yep, and it all ended.
I got really fantastic matches between her and AJ, but because they were the only two, it kind of fell flat. And then, of course, because AJ wasn't really that fonded by the people in the back, because the whole having Punk's thing in her, and
yeah, poor AJ. But we could potentially get 2 women's matches at WrestleMania when you've got this Lana situation.
That's
Bella.
I can't see that being on WrestleMania. I don't understand, but unless it's the pre-show.
Well, I haven't heard anything about it being on Roadblock yet. I've
No.
looked today and there's nothing on there. But hey, well done WWE if you put 2 Divas matches on WrestleMania. That's something we have not seen forever.
And that's exciting enough, I think, seeing sort of Lana's first match. Like, we've had her as a character for over a year now. We almost had a match with the Ziggler thing and Rusev's story, but that just flatlined. So seeing her in her first ever match, that'll be very interesting.
What will she wear, do you reckon?
Looks things like her leftover Ziggler stuff.
Yeah.
If she wrestles in a miniskirt, I am fine.
Yeah. We're fine. So glad it's on the network to watch it over and over and over again. So yeah, what were your thoughts on Raw as it's just gone by?
Yeah, I think it was a decent Raw, and something I noticed they had a few more like backstage segments with just different people. I need to stop saying the word like. Over the past year, the backstage stuff has just been the authority. It's going to be more authority talking, more authority. Give us all the time. But this week there was lots of different people. Ziggler had one which incorporated Stephanie, but then you got it might have been probably their worst skit, but you had Goldust and R-Truth in a skit backstage. Had Jericho interview, Ryback and Kalisto's thing. There was enough of other people getting a chance to actually get a bit of promo, a bit of personality time.
Yeah. Well, that's what's cool about it, because if there's a big thing going on storyline-wise in WWE on Raw, it should be felt throughout the whole backstage. People need to be talking about it. But that thing with Ziggler and Stephanie was random, but I liked it. But it was weird that they were talking about something that happened, 14, 15 months ago at Survivor Series.
I know, bless Ziggler.
But hey, I take this as a positive.
You don't do the WWE YouTube, do you?
Often.
On the YouTube, they had actually a really good Ziggler promo afterwards. Oh. Basically, he's getting interviewed in the back, and he just cuts this really sort of passionate promo about I just got screwed. I was put in a tough situation, and I love it because I go out there. I show that I am the best goddamn person that can step in this ring. Whatever they throw at me, I'm gonna keep fighting. They're gonna keep teasing. They're gonna keep teasing it and pulling away titles from me. One time, just one time, I just need to just grab that title, just to shove it in their face, and just really passionate, fantastic promo. I suggest you go look it up.
Very real. I need to look at this tonight. Yeah. Damn. And how could we forget Sami Zayn?
Let's go!
I really want this to be a one-on-one ladder match. They would probably almost outdo Shawn Michaels and Scott Hall. Can you just imagine?
Well, Kevin Owens is known as the king of the ladder match in sort of indies.
I've heard.
And and his one with Finn Balor was fantastic. We all know I love Kevin Owens. He's just a phenomenal talent. And even if this doesn't turn into a singles and it gets an intercontinental multi-man thing, as long as it's people like Adrian Neville, even a Tyler Breeze, if they can give him this, put him in there, because these guys know how to work with him, and it would be phenomenal.
Yeah, it would.
Would actually show what he can do. And then, after that, we just get, a massive feud between Kevin and Sami. I'll be super happy.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Sami, just before I came here, I watched his goddamn fantastic match on NXT.
With Cesaro?
No, it was this week's one against Samoa Joe.
Ah, wow.
So basically, the storyline has been that they keep doing matches where they keep getting screwy finishes. They had one where they both made Baron Corbin tap out, one where they had a double pin that actually looked good, unlike Sasha and Becky's. And then it culminated in this 2 out of 3 falls match, which I was really confused because it started the show. So basically, the first thing was Samoa Joe came out and Sami Zayn came out. But the reason it started there was because this was the only thing on this week's NXT, was this match.
Are you serious?
This 2 out of 3 falls match took up the entire show.
Whoa.
And you even had you had Sasha Banks sitting in the crowd, you had Michael P.S. Hayes.
Damn.
You had quite a few wrestling alumni just like there. And yeah, literally this whole show was devoted to just Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe putting on goddamn fantastic match. Like, it's just like, there's not many people that can sell like Sami Zayn. And like, to the point where you just feel so like, oh my god, please survive, Sami. Samoa Joe is super popular, he's super over, but against Sami Zayn, you've got the proper dynamic of the babyface and the heel. Watch it. It is just
okay.
Really
that's my
good,
dinner time show tonight. You sold it.
But yeah, and if they can just bring an ounce of this to the main show, I would be happy.
Brilliant. You've delivered. I've signed. I'm watching that tonight. Oh, brilliant. So yeah, that's the last couple of weeks' Raws. Obviously now we're just a few Raws left until Mania. What do you expect going into the next few? Different change in
over
pace?
the next few, well, I think our big thing is we've got to get through Roadblock.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure it's going to be sticking to the fast lane we are currently in. There's always that slight chance of the Ambrose.
Yep.
But I think we're pretty much set for WrestleMania now.
Yeah.
I think most things are going to go smooth sailing. We've got... we didn't talk about it. The AJ and Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
The funny thing was, I was listening to the Law podcast, and there was somebody that phoned up, and apparently there was quite a few Y2AJ shirts sold in the crowd.
Oh, no.
So people bought this shirt that only existed for a week.
For 1 week. Oh, I was eyeing it up for WrestleMania when we watch it. So glad I didn't.
Oh. But yeah, Y2AJ, and then they split up, and now we can get a proper
feud
heel.
Yep.
Because some of Jericho's best promo work is done when he's heel.
Damn right.
So heel Jericho versus face AJ. Let's really have this a nice singles match at WrestleMania just to solidify AJ in his first ever WrestleMania.
Yep. And
prove that he's a big deal. I still am really concerned for when Jericho goes and AJ is like left to Vince McMahon and he's like,
yeah,
let's make him drop to Ryback.
Yeah, I know.
Ryback's big. Let's put Ryback in small clothes because he's big. Yeah.
We really should now start getting some real big things with what's going on with WrestleMania. One thing I did hear, which you might like, do you know the New Day?
I know the New Day.
Do you know they asked Vince if they could come down to the ring in unicorns, fly around the stadium in unicorns? And they said it's less than 50% chance of that happening. So yeah.
Oh, I love the New Day so much. But if they could get so like ridiculous, where they, I don't know, just come down on some sort of cloud-shaped float with just like unicorns and rainbows on it, that enough would be.
Yeah, but they've got to give them a big entrance.
Yeah, they've basically held the show together for almost the last half a year. They've been involved in pretty much most main event angles, and they were like Seth Rollins, like buddies.
They were
when he was being heel.
Yeah.
Oh, Seth Rollins.
I know. But you just wait for that pop when he comes back.
I know. That's another thing why I think it would make so much sense for Roman Reigns to be heel. Let's just completely switch that round. You have Roman Reigns being heel, he's going through people, and then you just get the Seth Rollins pop return, huge baby face, and you just switch those dynamics and just
Yeah. And hopefully we'll find out about some star power now going into Mania. Whether big guests, whether The Rock's going to host Mania, whether Austin's going to show up, stuff like that.
See, this is the big problem, is star power. It's not that the WWE doesn't have it. They've just failed to cultivate it. They've just been too scared to make these new stars. As I've said over and over again, they have one of the most talented rosters they've had in years.
Best wrestlers.
Like, you've had people that are main event worthy of Cody Rhodes, who is just... He's barely ever on Raw, but at one point, him and his brother were the hottest tag team. They had one of the hottest angles with that Shield match years ago. the people really wanted him to get that Money in the Bank title box briefcase. That's the one. So you had a genuine star there, and then you just let him drop down. Ziggler, one of the biggest pops on a after WrestleMania Raw, and then you just let it fall. You had so many of these guys that have been like main event worthy. The whole of the League of Nations separately are main eventers.
Yeah.
But together they've just dropped down to where I think they'd be more suited to have a rivalry with the Social Outcasts.
Yeah.
Who, in fairness, are phenomenal together.
Yeah.
This is basically the proper showing of what a team. The Social Outcast is exactly what a group should do. All four of these people put together are greater than them apart. This is like elevated all of these guys.
It has.
League of Nations have all been brought down by being unified.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Do you like the Social Outcasts?
I love them. Like, it's ridiculous. They've all got a bit of a distinct personality to them, and just their joint promos. They're so different, but they sort of fit together well.
Yeah.
You just got Curtis Axel just, hey!
Yeah, what was that?
Well, I assume it was like some sort of like horror axe scream, but they just went with it. Yes.
There were a couple of laugh out loud moments from Raw, and that was one of them. And the other was Bray's. I'll put it up with this video
His
if I
face.
can.
It's on my Instagram as
Ricky's
well.
Instagram. It's hilarious.
Well, actually, that's something we haven't spoken about. This huge, heated rivalry between Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, what did I hear about this? Did I hear that it's going to be on Roadblock? Or is that something, was that just a rumour?
Yes, that is on Roadblock.
It is on Roadblock.
It is on Roadblock. I
didn't dream that.
That's how
Like, this is how bad they built it. It's just,
basically on SmackDown, he cut a promo which said, like, Brock, we're going to beat you up because we're the Wyatts and fairies and magic and unicorns and dragons. And
yeah.
Well, it makes about as much sense as he usually says.
Yeah.
And this is the first thing we've had said of this since the Royal Rumble, where they eliminated Brock. And then I believe it was the Raw afterwards where Heyman had, we'll deal with Bray Wyatt at some point. Anyway, on to other things. And this must be that other moment they were talking about.
No,
This is it. It's just like, I've got time, I'm going to deal with you now in Canada.
Yeah, a lot of German suplexes coming for Bray.
Well, and Eric. And hopefully he'll just injure Strowman, because he, at the Rumble, really did not look like he liked Strowman. Because Strowman was not selling.
He was not selling.
You sell for Lesnar.
Yeah. He kills you. On the last podcast, I did mention that we were umming and ahhing whether we were going to be watching WrestleMania, just at home on TV or down in Brighton. But it's been confirmed now we're watching it in Brighton, so there won't be a live reaction cam this year. But I'll try and get some videos from that night because there's probably going to be several hundred other wrestling fans there.
What is the name of the place?
It's called Walkabout in Brighton. There may still be tickets available, but we've splashed out with, 10 other people?
Yeah.
And we've got our own booth and our own waiter and this massive projector. So I definitely want to try and get some bits for you for the channel from that night. I can't wait.
I'll save you some fries.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Oh, hell yeah. It's WrestleMania. No matter how bad anything is going into it, it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Even when The Miz main evented it, it was WrestleMania.
Yeah. I can't wait. Plus, all the atmosphere there as well, and the club. Oh, it's going to be good.
Oh, I like that club atmosphere.
But
it's good. It's about wrestling.
I don't think I've ever been to a club with you, Rick.
Oh, yeah. When we went to Lanzarote.
Oh, Lanzarote. Yeah.
After the brothels.
How can I forget? The brothels. Accidental.
So, leave a comment in the section below if you've been to a brothel.
Accidentally. Right. Anything else you want to discuss, or?
I feel we've covered most things. We'll convene again, I believe, 3 weeks, because I'll be away for my birthday week.
Yeah,
so the
Rick
next
is 30.
podcast.
Ha.
Yeah, because, you're not 30 already, are you?
But he's 30 with me.
Hey, I'm going to spend 3 days in Nottingham. I'm going to go to Hooters.
Oh, yeah?
That's how I'm going to be spending My going 30th.
It's going to sit in Hooters for 3 days.
Basically, yeah. I've got a lot of comic books and stuff. I'm just going to chill.
Yep.
Relax.
Sounds amazing. Wish I could come.
I'm basically going to treat it like Pokemon and try and, like, get a selfie with all of them. Like, try and catch them all.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it should be.
Right. It's good to chat to you, dude. And as Ricky said, there's a few Raws left, so we're going to try and do another podcast just after Go Home and discuss Raws and going into, maybe do some predictions as well.
Yep.
Going into WrestleMania. But as always, like, subscribe, leave your thoughts and comments in the section below. All the links are on the YouTube channel now. And we'll see you all soon. Ciao for now.
TTFN.